Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sammy Ketchum, and welcome back to Sammy Ketchum TCG. Today, we are going to be taking a look at another Brilliant Stars deck profile. That's right. Today, we are going to be talking about another Arceus V-Star deck. Alright? This deck is going to be the dark version of Arceus. Well, the dark deck, as they say. So, featuring most of the decent and good dark Pokemon from former sets that are actually really good against Pokemon like Mew VMAX. So, let's go ahead and show a little bit of them here. Moltres V is one of the dark Pokemon we're going to talk about. So is Hoopa V. But yeah, this deck is going to be featuring those Pokemon, and we are going to jump into that. But before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to Omnipoke and Celios Network, because this list is basically going to be based on, their thoughts, their list that they've already shared. And I'm basically just kind of, piggybacking off of that. I made a few tweets of my own, which I would think that would be used going forward with the deck. So, hopefully you guys will, like it, see some of the changes and things that I've made, and enjoy, hopefully playing around with this deck come Brilliant Stars. All right, without further ado, let's jump into this deck profile. All right, guys, we are back. Let's jump into it. We have ourselves 3 copies of Arceus V-Star. Alright, this guy needs no introduction. Alright, 280 HP. Alright, weak to fighting. It has 1 attack. For 3 colorless energy. It does 200 damage. And you may search your deck for 3 basic energies of any type and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Alright, I think bench Pokemon, I think. So, this is very, very good. Energy acceleration and a pretty decent attack to boot. With the choice belt, you're doing 230. You are going to be doing less damage if you have the double turbo attached, but 210 damage with the choice belt isn't bad at all either. But the energy acceleration is one of the reasons why we are playing him with the dark version of this deck. Also, the V-Star ability. The V-Star ability is probably one of the best abilities in the game. Being able to go search your deck for 2 cards and add them to your hand is very, very good. Alright? You could get Boss, you could get the double turbo when you need it, etc., etc. So, this card is the selling point of Brilliant Stars, and it will continue to be. Three copies of Arceus V. Alright. 220 HP. It has 2 attacks. We're really going to focus on this first one for 2 colorless energies, or you could just pay with a double turbo. Search your deck for 3 basic energies and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. Same thing as the Arceus V-Star, but with no damage. But this is still good. This is still so good. So good, especially if you go second. You know, I love this so much. And the other attack does 130, what, 4 energy? No, 3 energy? Okay. But that first attack is so busted. Like, I can't even explain to you how good that attack is. You know, this deck is really gonna, you know, you abuse this attack and the one on the V-Star. Like crack. Two copies of Moltres V. Alright. Moltres V is a very good dark Pokemon. Alright. He's been used as text in a lot of decks over the past year. Especially for its ability. Its ability allows you to get a dark basic energy from your discard pile, you know, and you can attach it to him once per turn. So, a little bit of energy acceleration, but you're attached to him. You know, there have been a lot of plays where you can attach energy from your discard pile to him and then energy switch off the energy, you know, to power somebody else up. You can also get him powered up. You know, energy for the turn, use his ability, you know, get him rolling. This card being a dark type Pokemon can hit Mew VMAX for weakness. You know, so this is a very good counter card to one of the best decks in the format. Its attack does 190 damage, but it does 30 damage to itself. That's okay. You know, that's okay. I'll hit myself, but I get to knock out your Mew VMAX. I get to take 3 prizes. You know, and that is big. That is big. You know, so that's what this deck is going to focus on. Dark Pokemon and one-shotting Mew VMAX. Another card that one-shots Mew VMAX is the Hoopa V. Alright? Alright, Hoopa V has this great ability that basically makes him he's not only a dark Pokemon, but he's also a psychic type Pokemon. He also becomes a psychic type Pokemon. So, you know, if you're going up against, you know, a deck that has a psychic type weakness, you can now hit them for weakness. So you're hitting for two different types of weakness. You hit Mew VMAX because you're dark, and then anything that's weak to psychic Pokemon, you hit them for weakness, which is really great. Good against Rapid Strike Urshifu, good against Single Strike Urshifu, anything that's weak to psychic, which is very good. His attack does 170, and you do 30 damage to one of your own Pokemon. Put it on like a Crobat or something that really doesn't matter, you know. But yeah, you know, you're hitting things for weakness, which is what this deck is basically focusing on. Two copies of Moltres V. Alright, this is the second legendary bird that is in this deck. Alright, Moltres V has this great ability that says for each Pokemon V that your opponent has in play, his attack costs 1 colorless less. So if they have 3 Pokemon V in play, you know, then this attack cost would only cost a fighting energy, 1 fighting energy. You know what I'm saying? So, which is very, very good. So for 1 energy, you get them powered up very fast. You know, this format is going to be a very V heavy format. with Arceus decks, with the V-Star decks, with V-Maxes. You know, you're going to have so many Vs in play that this is basically almost going to darn near attack for free. Which is very good. This will basically pry on anything that's weak to fighting. Gengar VMAX is weak to fighting. Arceus VMAX is weak to fighting. So other Arceus decks are mirror matches. You're going to get the mirror match with this. This deck has two Zapdoses in it. So, whereas before, like other lists that I've seen, they were only playing one. I think two is the way to go. You know what I'm saying? If your only one gets knocked out, or if this gets prized, and, you know, you have no way to take out, you know, big attackers, you know, that are weak to fighting or whatever, your only card is in your prize or knocked out, hey, you've got another one. You've got a backup. You know what I'm saying? So you're just not down and out after that. You know, you're going to need a second one. You know, and I'm including one in here. So fighting weakness, very, very good. One copy of Lumineon V. It's in here for its is it Aurora Veil? No, Water Veil. Water Veil ability. Alright? When you play this card from your hand, search your deck for a supporter and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck afterwards. So finding a supporter is very good. You can find Boss, you can find Research, you can find Marnie, Raihan, whatever. Very, very good ability. Yep. One Crobat V. Alright. It's in here for his Dark Asset ability. Asset. Alright. When you play this card from your hand, you can draw until you have 6 cards in your hand. Very, very good draw ability. You know, very, very good support Pokemon in almost every single deck. Four copies of Professor's Research. Discard a card, draw 7 cards. Discard a cards. Discard your hand and draw until you have 7 cards. Oh my god, I can't talk right now. Alright. 3 copies of Marnie. Shuffle your hand. Put your hand and you and your opponent shuffle your hands. Put, you know, those cards on the bottom of their deck, on your deck or whatever. You draw 5, your opponent draws 4. So a little bit of disruption, you know, and then still get, you know, either 5 or 4 cards, depending on, you know, what side you're on, the receiving end or the other end, what have you. But Marnie's a great card. This can win you games. This can also end you games. 3 copies of Boss's Orders. One copy of Raihan. Raihan is very good if your Pokemon got knocked out during the last turn. You search your discard pile for a basic energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon, and then search your deck for any card and add it to your hand. So it's kind of like a little comeback card. Kind of help you out there after your Pokemon gets knocked out. Four copies of Quick Ball. Discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for a basic. Add it to your hand. Four copies of Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is back in the format. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Search your deck for any Pokemon and add it to your hand. This is very good in this deck because we have dark energies in this deck. Moltres V can get dark energies from the discard pile for free, basically. So you discard any of those, and then you can tutor them back to the Moltres V, which is very, very good. So Ultra Ball is a great card in this deck. Three copies of Energy Switch. Like the card says, Energy Switch, you switch one of the energies from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. Very good with Moltres V. Like I said before, you know, this card is actually really good and really key in this deck if you want to, you know, if you want to get things rolling and keep things rolling. Two copies of Switch, self-explanatory. One copy of Escape Rope. I think I want to put another Escape Rope in here, but I don't know what I would cut. You and your opponent will switch your active Pokemon for one Pokemon on your bench. Your opponent chooses first. You know, so it's like Warp Point, but it's called Escape Rope. So yeah. Alright. Two copies of Air Balloon. When you attach this to your Pokemon, their retreat cost is 2 less. Very, very good with Arceus. Two copies of Choice Belt. When this is attached to your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to Pokemon V. Alright? That includes V Union, V Maxes, anything like that. All V Pokemon. The only downside to this, it doesn't include any other Pokemon other than Vs. So, other than that, this is still really good because mostly that's all we're going to play is V Pokemon. Three copies of Training Court. This is also good with discarding energies with like Ultra Ball. Or if your Pokemon gets knocked out and you have like an energy in your discard pile that you need to get back, you know, you could get it back with the Training Court, which is very, very good. Alright. One copy of the new Collapse Stadium from Brilliant Stars. When you play this card, put this card into play, you and your opponent have to go down to four Pokemon on their bench. So you can't have more than 4 with this stadium out. Alright. This is actually really good for like if you have something like a Crobat on your bench or a Lumineon or something like that, you can get rid of the Lumineon or the Crobat because they may be liabilities. So you get rid of some liabilities, make your bench go down to 4. Or if you're playing against your opponent's deck that basically, if they rely on their bench, or if they rely on a bench, like a big bench, you know, if they have attacks that rely on the bench, this will kind of hinder them a little bit. So, not only that, it's just the 4th stadium to bump off in Stadium Wars. You know, bump off the path to the peak. So, three copies of Boost Energy, Turbo Boost Energy. I think that's what they call it. This provides 2 colorless energy, but when it does, your Pokemon's attacks do 20 less damage. So it's a little, it's a little stipulation in order to attack a little bit faster. That's okay. We still like the card, you know. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 darkness energies. In Japan, they call these evil energies, I guess. Or dark Pokemon, the evil Pokemon. I honestly like that better, but we're going to call it dark Pokemon here in darkness energy. And then 2 copies of fighting energy. Or fist bump energy, as some people will call it. Alright. I have seen lists only play with 1 and maybe an Aurora energy. Just go 2 fighting energy. Because, I mean, that's the only other type of energy you really want in this deck is fighting anyway. Everything else is using dark energy or the double colorless. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense to play anything else. Anyway, guys, that is the deck list. When we come back, I will do the layout. Alright, guys, here is the layout. I have been testing this deck out since I've kind of put it together. Been playing it against some of the other decks that I've shown on the channel for Brilliant Stars. It's been performing pretty decently. With the added little text that I've added in here, I've added in a second Zapdos, a second Fighting Energy, things like that. I've added in a 4th Stadium because I think Stadium Wars will be very, very, very heavy. Especially against Path to the Peak. This deck really does get hurt by Path to the Peak. Arceus V-Star would get hurt by Path. Moltres would get hurt by Path. Zapdos would get hurt by Path. So will Hoopa. Lumineon and Crobat will also get hurt by Path. Yeah, all the Pokemon in this deck will get hurt by Path to the Peak. So, yeah, that is public enemy number 1, as well as Mew VMAX. But, yeah, this deck is very good, so try it out, take a screenshot if you like. I think this will be what it would look like moving forward and what people would play. So, without further ado, ooh, wait a minute. Before I say like, comment, and subscribe, shout out again to Studios Network and Omnipoke for the inspiration. But yeah, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, mischief managed.